I was asking myself, should I shoot in the evening? Should I shoot in the night? Should I just postpone it for another day? And I thought to myself, you know what? We are not postponing anything. We're going to shoot it regardless. So here I am shooting at, what is it, 7? What's the time? So I have my laptop here as usual. It is 6:53 and I'm hoping to shoot the last episode of the Human Algorithm of Things Season 3, the last episode. This is episode 8. Imagine, guys, we had to complete an episode and a season. I'm so glad we've completed a season, and I have learned quite a lot while shooting this content, because it has been nothing but experience after experience and just packaging it into a consumable content for you guys. And I don't think I'm going to stop, because I'm experiencing a shift in the way I've been doing things, and I was asking myself, should I continue shooting content, or should I just, focus on other things and not shoot content? But I told myself I cannot stop shooting content. This has become part of me. This has become what I do on a consistent basis. I prepare for it throughout the week, and then in the weekend I just decide to shoot content. So I think this will be the basis of everything that I'll do moving forward. So expect season 4 of the Human Algorithm of Things. Maybe we'll delve now deeper into other experiences that I'm having and other fun stuff. The reason why I'm not stopping, that is something I was thinking of in the weekend, and I was asking myself, should I now stop doing it? Because I've kind of reached at a place where the whole goal of starting the Human Algorithm of Things is already achieved, and I was just asking myself, do I still need to continue shooting content every single time? And I was like, no, I don't think life ends, and I don't think I've reached the maximum level, or I don't think I have reached a point where I can say I am done with Diana. There's no other individual that is made of Diana. So I think I'll still shoot content. I'll still shoot the Human Algorithm of Things. But moving forward, I think I'm going to take a different perspective of things. The way this season has been packaged is that we focused on so many things when it comes to starting your business, starting your venture. Don't be afraid of doing everything. And in the process of shooting this content, I came to realize the thing about me is that I'm a risk taker. I risk a lot of things, and I risk doing things so that I can go, or I can achieve exactly what I want in terms of my career and my profession. So what I've learned through this episode, or through this season, is that not so many people can sacrifice. Not so many people can take the time to, I'm just taking time out to figure out what I really want in life, or I'm just taking time out to understand the process, or to understand what the next journey looks like. And most of us don't take that, and sometimes you find yourself in a very sticky situation, or in a very sticky job, because maybe you compromised. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that person who compromises, whether it is in my relationships, whether it's my business, whether it's my career. I don't want to be that person who compromises, and I know that comes with a cost. It doesn't just come easily. And like I mentioned in the previous video, or in the previous content, following your purpose, or going after what you really like, or what you really find passion in, is a luxury that not so many people can get into. But if you have the opportunity, or if you have even the slightest space, or you believe that this in fact could work, and I just need to stick around long enough to ensure that I do not quit when it is the most, the next day is the breakthrough. And if not so many people can stick around for that, people don't appreciate, or people don't see the value. Sometimes people just think that, this is our overnight success, or this person got it better, or this person is just doing better, and that's why they're getting all this. But it really takes a lot of courage. It really takes a lot of discipline to know that you're not going to enjoy life as every other person does. You're not going to get, sometimes when I sit back and I'm just, coiled up, and I have those moments. I have those moments in my life where I look at myself and I ask myself, do I really need to still stay in this road, or should I just quit and go back to, the usual contemporary way of doing things? And sometimes you find yourself, even you want to incorporate corporate culture or corporate life into your life, so that you feel like the rest of the people, or you feel like you're doing exactly what other people are doing. But the thing is, sometimes paths do not, paths do not align, paths are not the same. That's what I mean. Paths are not the same. So for that reason, sometimes if you want to do what other people are doing and yet you're still trying to achieve something bigger, because for me it has always been, I want to achieve something so massive, so great, so impeccable, that I will look back and say all those periods or all these times when I was trusting the process, I was just confused, I didn't know what to do, I was having those sleepless nights, would be worth it. So the whole process of starting and finding yourself and trying different things and even making other people to spend on you while you're trying to achieve whatever you're trying to achieve, it's not something that everyone can do. That is what I've come to learn. But at the same time, I've come to learn that even in this journey that you're trying to build, or within this process of you just figuring things out and just figuring how things work, sometimes you might find yourself wanting to coil back and say you're not going to do it because it's not what other people are doing. So that has been the battle I've had in the last couple of weeks, and I was asking myself, now that I'm in this place, or I'm in this season of my life where I'm experiencing massive growth and I'm experiencing things happening in exponential ways, does it mean that I should now stop shooting content, or should I just continue shooting content but focus on the things that I believe I'm passionate about and that lighten me up every day or every other time I do it? So one of them being shooting content, and I think I still will continue to shoot content. So yeah. So in this final episode, we're just reflecting at what we spoke about in the previous sessions. We looked at quite a number of things. We highlighted, so I kind of introduced myself, who I am, and every other thing. And maybe it's interesting for me to mention that before I got started with this season, I was at a point in my life where I was completely devastated, and I didn't know if I would even do another season, because I thought I had reached a point where nothing good can come out of this, like nothing good can come out of this season. So that was the point where I was at, and for me to just commit myself to say that I'm going to shoot content consistently regardless of what's happening, I think that's a very I would congratulate myself, because I know not so many people will notice that it was a season of my life where I had to transition and I had to accept that it's time to move into this other person that I really was looking forward to, becoming. So we looked at introduction, so where I talked about even in no matter, I usually say, don't despise what you don't like. Take time. If you really want to understand something, you have to take time to know what's going on. So along this journey, I've also lost friends. I've lost so many people because nobody would understand what I was doing. Even me, sometimes I would question myself, am I really in the right direction? And I just said, God, this is me putting myself out there, and this is me trusting the process, and I'm just going to lay it on your feet and say, if you want me to stay in here, sustain me here, and let me not lag, let me not lose momentum until the end of whatever turbulence I was experiencing. So it's been about restructuring, and it has been about just knowing that whatever I have to do in whatever season that I'm in, or when someone looks at what I do in a day, that is me looking at reflecting at my seasons or at my days. I would look and say, this is actually not low value activity, that I gave my 100% when I was needed to give 100%. And sometimes we want people to give us 50% while we are still at 10%. So if I cannot bet on myself, and if I cannot be that person who's always trusting myself that when I say I'm going to do something, I am in fact going to do it, then I do not stand a chance to tell anyone to even support my vision or support my dream. This has been something that I've walked through. And if you're also in that process, I encourage you, we're not trees, we're human beings. If you don't like where you are, in your relationship, in your career, in whatever you're doing, move. Nobody will force you to stay in a place where you don't like to be, unless you've chosen it. So if it's a decision you've made and you don't want to make a change, then sulk, but don't sulk at people, sulk at yourself. So it's been about getting started on your venture, and I think once I realized that I was so, every year, every season of my life is a different experience, and for me to decide that this is the path I'm going to take, regardless of whatever I knew would happen with me taking a different trajectory or taking a different path, knowing that I'm going to lose not just friends, I'm also going to lose support from family. I'm going to lose so much, but I still said I'm going to stick by what I want to do in life, because I know exactly who I want to be. So it has been a season where I discover who Diana is at her core, and knowing that I can become better, I can do better, and I can also occupy space without really feeling like I'm too much or I'm inadequate. So that's what this season has been about. We also looked at some of the limiting beliefs. Most people let limiting beliefs. Most people let limiting beliefs hold them back, because they believe that, somehow, somewhere, someone is going to come and save you, someone is going to help you, someone is going to pick you up, someone is going to pick your shit up. No one is coming to save you, no one is coming to rescue you. You're not in a fairy tale, and if you need to make something happen, it's only you to make it happen. There are certain things that I did in 2024 and 2024 that was still just bare in my, just visions and pictures in my mind that I thought I would do. And right now, when I'm at the center of doing them, I'm like, God, I'm really grateful that I did not give up on this dream. I'm really grateful that I just was consistent in certain things that I was doing. And I'm so grateful that if you can be that person who's so proud of yourself for not giving up or for not quitting at any point, it doesn't matter what people tell. And for me, I usually say, you don't have to explain yourself to anyone. You don't have to explain your purpose to anyone. So that's about getting started. And you really need to be laser focused, and you need to understand really what success means, how you will get there, who will support you, who will help you, who can help you, with information, where can you get content, where can you get resources, how is the value chain, and all these things. And sometimes people are not so patient enough to that level. And us being in our 20s, I came to realize we don't have all these years. We don't have all the time. Like, yes, we have all the energy, but sometimes you might not have all the time. So that is what made me realize that everything that I need to do, I need to set a timeline, not a timeline that aligns with every other person, because I came to learn I am just me, and I'm just having all these flaws, all these human weaknesses that are just Diana's weaknesses that we can't compare to any other person's. So me comparing myself with others does not do me any service. Me trying to be someone's wife at this point will not really help me per se, unless I've reached a point where I could say I've done enough inner work to even know what a good husband is. These are just things that I usually tell myself. Like, yes, you will never be ready for the biggest opportunities in your life, but they usually say you prepare for such opportunities. And when opportunities comes, then you now say you don't have time to prepare, but you just jump right into it. So me comparing myself with others, me comparing myself with other people's win is not going to help me. I just have to accept that I am in my own journey, and I am in my own little bubble that I need to really morph into whatever the person I want to be. And then we looked at, so some of the limiting beliefs, we looked at them, and we say that starting a business is not hard, staying in business is the work. Because starting a business, everyone will celebrate you, everyone will clap for you, everyone will want to be part of it. But how many people will stick by you when things get tough, when things get rough, when nobody's clapping for you, nobody's even lending you any money, you're taking food that you've not even prepared yourself to take throughout the week? Who will be there for you, and who will support you if not yourself? So we also looked at how to set up things, getting your first paying client, paying customer. And it has been a journey, how to acquire customers, how to increase your revenue, how to build a strategy or work with a strategy. We also looked at touched on building a sustainable venture, and that actually went viral because it seems like people want to know how to acquire customer and how to build a sustainable venture. And we said that building a sustainable venture really is pegged on your processes, systems, operations, and your sales funnel, and basically sustainability in, you know, the ESG and everything. We looked at that and we say that it's not just enough to start a business. It's, you know, a business is a people's thing, and if you don't align yourself with the community where your business exists, then it may not be sustainable. And then we also looked at the importance of building a brand and building a sustainable brand, because you want your business to operate even while you sleep or while you're out of office, so that we also looked at building a good corporate culture, and why it's important to build a good corporate culture, and it is very essential so that you can also, it's also pegged on the intangible resource that is in, you know, building a sustainable business. Then we looked at protecting your vision. At an early stage, it's not good to share everything, and there are certain things that are only left between you and God. And this, I looked at it from a point of, you know, you might be that person who has this one person that you go to and, you know, you tell them because you're happy, you feel that they will be so proud and everything. But sometimes it's also good to reevaluate and ask yourself how people respond with, you know, wins and your losses, so that you can really know who's for you and who's against you. But it's still not so good to share, especially if you have problems. Problems are meant to be sent to God directly. Yes, there are those that you need support from people, and God will also send people to support you, but that video you can still get it on the few previous episodes that we did, that we said protecting your vision is very important. And sometimes you may not have a full picture of how your vision will come to life, but if you go on and go about sharing it with every other person, people will give you their insecurities, fears, judgments, you know, every other thing that makes you to derail or be burdened by, you know, failure. Then in our previous video, we looked at mistakes to avoid to help you move from beginner level to the next. And we really touched on very basic important things like, you know, falling into debt, trying to being a people pleaser and all that. So I think we covered much ground. So all these topics were meant to build resilience. Someone told me, oh, I wanted to come so that you can help me with my business and all this, to set up and do everything. Setting up is not the problem. Staying in business is the issue. Staying in business requires resilience, and resilience can be planned. And because, you know, people will always steal from you. People will always do whatever they want to do with you. They will take your resources. They will try to, you know, paralyze your operations. How then do you prepare for such circumstances? How do you prepare to know that you need to double down on some of the things that are bringing results? So those are the things that we looked at in the last episode. And now, to wrap up everything, let's look at what causes you to become a magnet, not just for your friends, clients, we have relationships and everyone. What makes you you, and what makes people want to stick around with you? For me, I'd say the most important thing above all else that we've spoken about is remaining optimistic. You have to remain optimistic no matter what. You have to remain confident, positive, not just saying, oh, I'm positive. You know, there are things you can't lie to your brain. You can't tell your brain that you're okay when your brain knows you're not okay. You can't tell your brain you're confident, yet your brain knows you're not confident. And certain things I've come to learn that you only build them when you do hard things. You'd have to be that person who's willing and who's comfortable with discomfort, who's comfortable with sacrificing some of your, you know, niceties so that you can get what you want at the end. And just remaining positive, knowing that being a problem solver, so that If anything, because you will definitely experience challenges. If you experience challenges, how do you bounce back? How do you say, okay, I'm experiencing this challenge, but I'm going to go above it? So that is what we're left with. Building charisma, building enthusiasm, building optimism. This is what keeps you grounded in your vision as a leader, and that's what trickles down to your team members and people who will work with you. Because with a good charisma, enthusiasm, and attitude, these things demonstrate that you have genuine interest, you are eager to learn, you are confident, and you build trust, or you inspire trust. And let's face it, life is too short. You don't want to spend all your life just chasing the bag and just trying to meet, to pay the bills. And one of the things that I've learned is that if you remain positive, knowing that your day is going to come, and you're going to be even grateful that you waited, is remaining positive that whatever you're doing will in fact create an impact. And one thing I've come to learn is that if you do not have passion, it can be seen, it can be felt. So sometimes I'm having a terrible day, but that's the day that I'm supposed to shoot content. I have to really channel all the energy that I have to get in the mood and just shoot content, knowing that if I don't do it, if I postpone, I'm not going to have that enthusiasm tomorrow. So I have to just find a way to always be positive. And how do you build positivity? It goes beyond just showing up. It goes beyond just showing up at an interview. It goes beyond just showing up to make a presentation. It goes beyond that. Looks at, we just started our public speaking course, and I have uploaded the first video, and I'll be uploading the rest in the course of the week. And what we're looking at is building credibility, and what we're also looking at is learning through observation. So sometimes you ask yourself, when you're watching TikTok, do you stop and look at people who are just dull, people who are just beaten up by life, people who are not even confident about what they're saying, and they don't even inspire confidence? Do you stop to watch such people? No. You stop to watch people who are prepared, people who are happy, people who are jovial, people who are demonstrating something. Even if it's sadness, they are living the moment, and you can actually feel emotions through their words. So you can't bring out enthusiasm and charisma and that energy that people admire when you're beaten down, or you're low in spirit. You have to always maintain good spirit. And how do you maintain good spirit? Sometimes I've come to learn you have to take care of yourself. I have to take care of myself every single day. I have to make sure that I'm well rested. I have nutritious and healthy food. I'm taking care of my body. I'm taking care of my face. Look at me when I got started with this video, and right now there's complete difference. Because being a beginner, or being a founder, or starting out, or just working your way to the top requires that we take good care of ourselves. And taking good care of ourselves can be seen by how we show up. So everyone is having problems anyway. Everyone is having problems. Everyone has something that needs their attention. But there are those who are so well collected, knowing that it is none of these other people's business. If I am experiencing this, I need to find a way to just, still get into a space. And if I'm supposed to act as a boss here, or if I'm supposed to act as a leader here, then that is exactly what I'm going to do. And I'm not going to bring my family issues to these people, because that is how life is. Life is just you finding joy inside and finding happiness within you, and going out there knowing that you're going to win no matter what happened the previous night, and just trying to create order in your life. Because I've seen you find people who are very mean on phone, you find people who are very mean by the road, you find people who are very mean in these stores or in the service industry, and you're asking yourself, what is going on with this person? Like, I have come with all my happiness and all my good energy, but when I reach here, this person transmits this negative energy to me. And I've come to learn that if you can easily notice that the energy transfer has happened, so that you are so enthusiastic and you get to a space and the other person is just completely off, it's good for you to think about how you're going to react. How am I going to react to this situation? Because it's either you're going to reciprocate the energy, or you will remain calm and know that it's not about you. It's not about you. It's not about you, but it's about the other person. If you can reach to that point. So people who are happy, jovial, everyone wants to be around that person. Even the saddest person wants to be close to a happy person, even if it means they want to just blow that happiness away. Because happy people are contagious, and even energies are contagious. So if you are happy, if you demonstrate that you're enthusiastic about what you do, about your interest, about interest in other people, take that, and people can feel that, and people appreciate that. So to cover everything that we've said, and me shooting this content throughout, you can imagine the backlash that I've gotten from my friends, from people I thought would support me and all that. I've gotten all the kinds of reactions from people, even in my business, in my whatever I do. People always come with their own insecurities and they comment whatever they want to comment. When I put it on my status, people do whatever they want to do with it. But for me, it doesn't matter, because I've reached a point where I know very well I am in control of my life. If there's something that I can control, is how I react to things that are out of my control. And that way, I've come to see. Because think about this. Think about this person that you really emulate and you really like the way they show up or the way they lead. If there are people who would be just broken or torn down by simple comments, simple reactions, would they be where they are? So such things tell you that you need to build resilience within you, and also know that happiness is an inside job, and being enthusiastic about what you do comes from living by your purpose, or just asking yourself, if these things were to be more enjoyable, what would it look like, and can I make that happen within my space or within my so it's always good to think, because sometimes you may not find happiness in whatever you're doing. Like when I'm doing the dishes, there's nothing happy about that. But if I just go on and decide to watch to listen to a podcast while I'm doing the dishes, or to decide to listen to my favorite jam when I'm listening or when I'm doing the dishes, that really changes the atmosphere or changes the mood. So sometimes if you just call it up and all sulky and everything, just go back to yourself and ask yourself, why am I sulky? Why am I bitter? Why do I perceive life as all negative and no positivity? Then you will know where the source is coming from. To wrap up this season, I just want to invite you, for those who want to follow me in the public speaking course, because there we talk about things we can talk publicly, and it's free actually, so you can always just get there and get to listen to content, learn how to connect with your audience, learn how to, let's share, let's just enjoy and have fun, learn how to speak, learn how to articulate yourself, learn how to speak with impact. So if you want to join us in the next, because it will take some time before we get to the next season, but we'll still have that going on, and there's so much that we have unpacked. So I'm really appreciative of Fanikiwa for making this happen, because I was really looking for a platform where I can always just put up my short videos on the course that I want to create. So after the public speaking course, I'm hoping I'll go to the next and the next and the next until I'm done. But I want to thank you for, if you've been watching the episodes, even if you just watch for a second, I want to really appreciate and thank you so much for that support. It means a lot to me. And if you still want to get more of me, I've said we can get in touch through the public speaking course, where we delve deeper into personal development and how to even churn or bring out yourself to the world. So this is not the end, this is just the beginning. There's so much that we have learned, there's so much that I have learned personally, and I want to thank you so much for being with me through this journey. So it's a wrap, guys. So remember, starting out, you just have to really introspect and ask yourself, what is it, what kind of impact are you going to leave behind? And for me, I usually say, if you're in your 20s and you've been watching this, just know that the world is your stage, and you're free to try as much as you can, try out things as much as you can, until you reach a point where you say, okay, this is exactly what I want to do with my life. So there's no blueprint to growth, there's no blueprint to success. We just try things out, and we really try to find ourselves. We work harder on ourselves than we work on our jobs, because at the end of the day, the rate at which you grow is pegged on how much you're willing to grow as an individual, either as a business person or as a career person. So yeah, so thank you guys. I'm so happy, I'm so glad we've come to the end. Remember, enthusiasm, interest, passion cannot be borrowed. You have to develop it, and that is what keeps you in business, or that is what keeps you going every single day. So thank you guys, and I hope you're going to subscribe, like, comment, share, and let's meet in other platforms and see you in the next season. I'm Diana, I'm a certified strategic manager. I'm also going to be soon certified project manager, and so yeah, so that is also on the way. And support me in my businesses, support me in my endeavors, and share widely. Thank you. Bye.